Am I the idiot for not letting my niece call me mom? I, female 35, have a bit of a story. When I was 19, I got pregnant and was extremely irresponsible and decided to keep the baby with me at the time. We passed the window to get the baby aborted, and as the due date grew closer, we realized just how unsustainable having a baby was at the time, and he ran out on me. I have no idea what to do, but my absolutely wonderful brother and his wife were having trouble conceiving, so they proposed that they raise my child like their own. I said yes, and I'm so thankful they allowed me to have a part in her life because she is a magnificent person. My brother suddenly passed away a few years ago, but he was the greatest man who ever walked on this planet. She began living with me after her father died. Her mother isn't in the picture anymore. Long story, but it's not happy, and a few months ago she found out I'm actually her biological mother. She's been coming to terms with it, and she tells me she loves hanging out with me and does see a lot of herself in me. This morning she called me Mom, and I immediately stopped her and told her not to call me that. She told me that I am literally her mother, so she should be allowed to call me Mom, and then I told her I am her aunt, not her mom. Then, after she continued to push, I said, "So does that mean you should call Dad Uncle Name?" That made her stop dead in her tracks, and she stopped and then just slowly left the room. Maybe that was a little bit of a cheap shot considering how freaking close she was with him before he passed, but yeah. Am I the idiot for not letting her call me Mom? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Just be honest with her. Repeat after me. I want to talk to you about a conversation we had. I understand that you're a young woman now, and finding your own identity is a big part of becoming an adult. When you called me Mom, that freaked me out a little. My brother and his wife raised you as their own. They took on a parental role that I couldn't provide. I haven't earned the right to be known as your mom. Maybe someday, but not now. To me, it feels as though it diminishes the role of your dad in your life. I don't want to be one of your two moms and have the memory of your dad fade away. He was the best guy in the world, and I still mourn his loss. So if I can keep being your cool aunt, that would make me very happy. In her eyes, you rejecting her maternal advances could be seen as a second abandonment. Undo the hurt before it sinks in. Comment 2. Yes, you're the idiot. But I was able to read your comments and think your reasoning comes from a place of not feeling good enough for the coveted title of mom and also having a bit of hero worship for your brother who was a great dad. Remember that you had the experiences to learn to accept your brother was the better choice for your daughter when she was young. Your daughter never experienced your inner turmoil with the choices you made. She probably doesn't quite understand your inner sacrifices on her behalf. You have her up for her. That does make you a good mother, even if she has only ever known you as aunt the last few years since your brother has passed and her adopted mother has been out of the picture. You have been more to her than her aunt. Like it or not, you've been given a second chance to earn the title of mom. Comment 3. It sounds like the child is desperately trying to come to terms with her dad's death, finding out that you are her bio mom, and probably other recent changes in her life. She is seeking a parental figure to help her get through this. You of course kick her when she's down by letting her know that she isn't wanted by either of her moms. Therapy should be the first thing you do for both of you. At this point, you're right. You aren't a mom, but you also aren't a good aunt. Or you can sit back and wait for the rebellion to begin. Now, for the update. After reading some of the comments and engaging with them, I decided to talk to her, and I told her I was very sorry for my low comment about her father, and I miss him terribly too, and I didn't feel comfortable being called mom because I felt I hadn't earned it yet. She was just kind of like, yeah, okay, and we moved on. Then last night she randomly asked if she could sleep in my bed with me. I was kind of unsure what to do, so I just said okay, and then she got in and snuggled up next to me. This is going to sound cheesy as hell, but when she put herself in my arms, I had this surreal flashback to when she was sleeping in my arms on the day she was born. I had a wave of emotions and started feeling like I was an idiot for giving her up, even though my brother was a better parent than I ever could be. And I had this realization that I've been a freaking idiot this whole time because I didn't see I now have an opportunity to actually be her mom after so many years of feeling like I missed out on that. I embraced her in my arms and started to cry. She asked if everything was okay, and I told her, everything is perfect. I sincerely hope I didn't screw myself and make her never want to call me mom ever again after my response last time. Either way, I couldn't be more proud of this young woman, and I'm so happy I get to have this role in her life. Comment 1. Part of my brain can't stop giggling at how awkward it's going to be when she starts referring to you as mom, but also refers to your brother as dad. Gonna get some raised eyebrows over that one. But seriously, as long as you remember your niece's daughter is a smart, mature woman who deserves to be treated with respect and as an adult, you'll be fine. Just keep communicating with her. Don't shy away from the hard conversations, and always approach them with empathy and an open mind, and you'll be all right. Comment 2. This is a lovely story and a wonderful moment for you. I'm curious. You said she was raised by your brother and his wife, but when he died, she came to live with you. Where does his wife come in? Did she not want your daughter anymore? I can imagine your child being bereft, and on finding out you were her mother, it gave her hope she wasn't unwanted. Glad you have found each other. Then the original poster responded with, her mom stopped being part of her life a long time ago. It's not a happy story. Then someone else responded with, hey, many happy stories start with tragedies. You and your daughter can have your happy story. The future is a blank canvas, and judging by how you talked about the daughter and yourself, I believe your future will be bright. Comment 3. I would talk to a therapist who can help you navigate this, especially when you feel you're ready to be called mom. Remember, this little girl's still grieving, and you're still grieving. You guys have to give yourself breaks. Nothing is going to be perfect. Parenthood is definitely not perfect. Good luck on your journey, and I'm sorry for your loss. Not the idiot. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for going to a pre-planned vacation with my family rather than my boyfriend's mom's funeral? I'm a teacher, so I get about 2 months off every summer, but my mom, sister, aunt, and cousin all work regular 9, 5 jobs with 2, 3 weeks off a year, so it's really difficult to organize time for trips where we can all go. We managed to schedule a girls' trip to Cabo from June 1st to 9th, made payments, almost $3K a person, several weeks prior to the trip, and we're all very excited to go to Mexico and bond. I'm best friends with my sister and cousin, and my mom and aunt are identical twins, so we're all a very close group. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. His family lives across the country, so I only see them twice a year, and it's usually pretty quick. No real one-on-one bonding with anyone in his family, but we're all definitely friendly with one another. We like each other's posts on FBIG, send happy birthday wishes, stuff like that. A few days before we left, my boyfriend's mom passed away unexpectedly. I spent days attached to his hip, supporting him, writing the email to his work explaining what happened, cleaning the apartment, making sure he ate, called his dad and siblings and expressed my condolences, booked his flight, helped him pack, etc. He asked me to go to the funeral with him. I felt so bad telling him no. I hardly knew his mom and feel like I already committed myself to the trip with my family. He was heartbroken and begged me to go with him for support, but I told him that his whole family is there. And if anything, it's a special time for them all to recount memories of their mother/wife/sister/daughter. He asked if he gave me $1,500. Could you go on the trip sometime later? You have 2 more months off. I know you won't get some deposits back, so I'll give you this money. And I honestly felt so bad, but the thing isn't the money. Although obviously as a teacher, I'm not swimming in money. But it's about how this is the one time a year that the women I'm closest to can go together. My mom and aunt told me, we want you to come with us, but it's ultimately up to you. Whereas my cousin and sister were like, you should definitely come with us. It'll ruin the trip for us if you're not there. Just come, etc. My boyfriend was upset and left mad at me. I called, texted a bunch, but he didn't respond until days later. Anyways, I went to Mexico and came back on the 9th, and things have been weird with us. Sometimes he's really close with me like usual, other times I can tell he's mad I didn't go with him. He said he's not furious at me, but just disappointed and sad that I chose to go to a party instead of being there with him. Says he would have dropped anything for me. Keeps emphasizing that I have 2 months of vacation, but he doesn't get that no one else in the group has that kind of vacation time. I really couldn't reschedule. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Bloody hell. Yes, you fricked up. Your boyfriend's mother died. Not his neighbor or friend or co-worker, his mother. And as his partner, someone who allegedly loves him, you should have been at his side at the funeral. Your family has come off as incredibly selfish here, so I can see where you get it from. My mother would have been like, "Goodness, of course you have to go." How on earth were you able to enjoy yourself, knowing that he was more than likely having a difficult time? Yes, he would have had his other family around him, but he clearly wanted you to be there. And I can guarantee that the rest of the family weren't impressed with your decision, and it was 110% discussed. Where's X? Why didn't she come? She's in Cabo, eh? And the fact that he even offered to reimburse you for some of your outlay shows how badly he wanted you there. But you chose other people over his needs. In addition, you went with your mother, which would just remind him that he doesn't have a mother anymore. Personally, this is a deal breaker, and I would break up with someone over this. Imagine if the shoe was on the other foot. Your mother dies, and he's like, "Saws, but I'm still going to go on the broad's holiday. We cool though, right?" How utterly selfish and self-centered you are. Ugh, you're the idiot. You are so the idiot here, and no one can convince me otherwise. Comment 2. You're the idiot. It's a lot of money to spend on a trip and lose, but your BF's mother died. It doesn't matter how much you knew her. He's your boyfriend. On top of that, he offered money back for expenses. Granted, not the same amount, but still some. You have all the time in the world to plan another trip with your own mother. Turn the situation around. How would you feel? Comment 3. You're the idiot. It might be the one time in a year you get to go on holiday with that set of people, but it's the one time in his life he'll lose his mother unexpectedly. This is probably the worst time in his life, and you chose a holiday. Now, for the update. And if you're enjoying the video, please drop a like. It's free and really helps the channel grow. It's been over 2 years since my previous post, which can be found in my post history. A lot has changed. I've taken the time to really think about what happened. What I came down to is that y'all were right that someone's mother dying is huge, and I should have given more support. I sat down and spoke to Jamie about my feelings. This conversation happened about 3 months after the funeral. He said he was upset with what happened but wanted to move on from the argument because our relationship means a lot to him. I told him I'd been thinking about it, and what it all came down to is that my feelings for him weren't as strong as they should be. If we've been together for 2.5 years and my feelings are starting to fade, then we should take a break. He was upset and crying a lot, but I told him that this would be better for both of us. This way we can think about what really matters and how much of the past to hold on to, as well as the love we have for each other. I ended up calling him about a month after that conversation and breaking things off. He's a great guy, and I should have been better to him. Things took a very sad turn for him, and I'll miss him always. I think I could have and should have handled things better than I did. Thank you all. Comment 1. I hope you never experience what he had to experience. I'm glad you ended things so that he can find someone who actually cares about him and his feelings. While your feelings of falling out of love are valid, what shitty timing for you to do that. You basically broke up with him 4 months after his mom passed. I'll always miss him. Dude, it was you who did this. Grow up. Comment 2. I'm glad that you realized your feelings weren't what he hoped for, and you two separated. But for the love that once you felt for him, the human thought would have been to accompany him. I can only say what I should have done. Because even if you weren't meant for each other, you were his partner, and you left him down, suffering for no good reason. It's more important to be with those we care in tough times. It's easy to be happy ones. I hope no one even does the same to you. Comment 3. I've read and lurked quite a bit, but this is beyond fricked. You are horrible. At the very least you let him go so he no longer has to deal with a fucking asshat like you. You ditched this man when he was willing to pay for half the expenses and desperately needed you because he lost his mother to frick off and hang out with people you see monthly. Spoiler alert, you can only lose our mom once, and the fact you tried saying you'd react perfectly fine had the situation been flipped goes to show are not right up there. Not only that, you downplayed it and continued to stand your ground trying to tell everyone else they are the idiot. You are the very definition of a goddamn narcissist. Hey guys, that wraps up today's video. I know I said I would stop including the troll comments, but these were just the most popular ones from the post. They are negative, but I think they are valid. Let me know what you think in the comments and have a great day.